Well, it's that time of year again for two reasons. One, it's Christmas time, and two, I owe you guys a list for the month. So, here's my top 15 favorite Christmas specials. Now keep in mind, these are just my favorite. If it had been the best overall, the list would be different, and some movies and shorts would be in a different order. So without further ado, let's start with number 15, and probably the weirdest bunch in the group. You might say it's the ugly duckling of the group. The MXC Winter Special, Aerospace versus Fast Food. I'm sorry, I cannot say that with a straight face, because it's not really a Christmas special, but for some reason I watch it every Christmas morning before everyone gets up. It has nothing to do with Christmas at all, but I still... that's pretty much it. So, if you haven't seen it, I suggest take a watch for yourself. You are not going to say it's a Christmas special, but hopefully you'll laugh your ass off at it. Number 14, I'm going to be very brief about this. Die Hard. I'm just going to quote the Nostalgia Critic by saying, fuck you, it's Die Hard. That's it. Number 13 is, we're actually getting into Christmas-themed stuff. A Very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas. A movie from last year featuring everyone's favorite stoners, Harold and Kumar. They go on an adventure to save Christmas, pretty much. It's funny, it's got 3D that will make you duck and cover. It's even has a heart at the end, like every Christmas special should, so that's A Very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas. Number 12 is a Christmas special that I just recently discovered. A Muppet Family Christmas. I mean, before... this was a Christmas special the Muppets did before Jim Henson's death. I know there's a more famous Christmas thing the Muppets did, but this is what I'm focusing on. Basically, the Muppets go to Fozzie's mother's house to celebrate Christmas, and they get a visit from the Sesame Street gang, and they even come across the Fraggles from Fraggle Rock. I mean, it's lighthearted, it's got Muppet songs, it's got humor, it's got basically every Jim Henson creation together under one roof to celebrate the holidays. So, very kind-hearted. You gotta have a black heart not to love the Muppets. So I suggest you look at this one, it's an underrated classic. Go Muppets. Number 11 is a sort of tie between any of the Rack and Bass Christmas specials, particularly Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I used to watch these as a kid non-stop every Christmas at my grandparents' house. It's... well, I like the stop motion, even though today it's choppy, but back then it was neat, and still is neat today in a way. It's got a kind heart, songs, and that's pretty much it. Number 10 is actually another tie, with one of these picks going to be something that people are going to kill me over because it's not number 1. A tie between two versions of A Christmas Carol and A Christmas Story. I know Christmas Story is always picked at number 1 because it's a Christmas story. It's the holiday classic. I didn't watch this movie that often during the holidays, and I remember seeing it as a kid. I wasn't too fond of it, but recently seeing it, it is really, really funny. Very warm-hearted. It's just the next specials I pick are just better, in my opinion. As for A Christmas Carol, the two versions I would suggest you watch are the Muppet Christmas Carol, because, I mean, it's the Muppets again. And Michael Caine is so great as Scrooge. I mean, it's so funny that he looks at the Muppets as if they're real things. I mean, granted, that's what they should do, but other actors would, like, kind of be joking around and stuff. Michael Caine takes this role seriously, and that's what makes it even better. And plus, again, it's the Muppets taking on a classic story. And the other one I would suggest is the Mickey Mouse Christmas Carol. Ironic that both picks I recommend come from Disney, but what can you do? Same thing except with Disney characters, particularly Mickey Mouse. So that's Christmas Carol and Story. Number 9, I'm going to be very brief about this one. Any of the Simpsons Christmas themed episodes. I don't care which one, they're all great. The Simpsons are really funny. I mean, they have heart, they have really funny humor like everything else. I have a Christmas with the Simpsons compilation DVD that I watch every time this year. Really funny. It's The Simpsons. Oh, I'm sorry, it's The Simpsons. Number 8 is Elf. Now, a few years before Jon Favreau made this little independent movie, he made this with Will Ferrell. I recently saw it last year again, and I forgot how heartwarming this movie is, and funny. I mean, this was back at a time where Will Ferrell was funny. Where a kid who's raised by Santa Claus and thinks he's an elf, and he's a giant elf, goes to New York, gets in all kinds of trouble. I mean, he's really funny. Zooey Deschanel is really good. Everyone does a good job in this movie. It's one of the best, most recent Christmas specials. Number 7 is a movie that is sort of odd again, but a lot of people do consider it a Christmas movie. Gremlins. Ignoring the fact that it takes place during Christmas, I saw this movie in October, like kind of for Halloween, since it's sort of horror comedy, and I felt more of a Christmas vibe off this movie than I did a Halloween vibe. So, what better way to celebrate the holidays by watching a bunch of little monsters cause hell all over town. And it's really great. Again, heartfelt like every other Christmas special. Although it has the weirdest out-of-nowhere story about how Phoebe Cates' character discovered that Santa wasn't real. It comes out of nowhere, but still a great movie. Gremlins. Remember, don't feed them after midnight. Number 6 is Frank Capra's It's a Wonderful Life. I mean, I really don't have much to say about this one because I don't remember that much of it, but I do remember it's a really good movie. It, along with Gremlins, made my list of other favorite movies. Really, really great Christmas special. Jimmy Stewart is fantastic. Just watch the movie, please. Number 5 is a movie that I watch every year with my mom. White Christmas. It's one of her favorite movies of all time. It's a really great movie. She knows this movie at the back of her head. Really funny. Christmas heartfelt. Just a really good Christmas movie. And makes me wish that LA was sort of a white Christmas. Because right now it's drizzling and I would prefer snow, but moving on. Number 4 is Ed, Edd and Eddy's Jingle Jingle Jangle. Now, as weird as the last part of that title sounds, I grew up with Ed, Edd and Eddy. This was like my favorite cartoon of all time growing up. I have season 1 and 2 on DVD, as you've seen in my DVD collection video. This Christmas special is so funny. Although, like every other Ed and Eddy episode, things don't work out at the end for them, but still funny, still heartfelt. Ed and Eddy. Number 3 is A Charlie Brown Christmas. As if Christmas for some people wasn't depressing enough, you gotta celebrate it with this blockhead. I'm just kidding. It's one of the definitive Christmas specials. Charlie Brown might not be upbeat to begin with, but in the end it puts you in that Christmas spirit. It's got all the stuff you love about the Peanuts. Learning the true meaning of Christmas for Charlie Brown is probably the only accomplishment he's ever gonna have, because since he can't kick a football, that's all he'll have to go with. And yeah, it gives hope for all other pathetic losers during Christmas, like me. Wait, did I just say that out loud? Moving on. Number 2 is Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. No, not that one. That one. The animated one where Boris Karloff voices the Grinch. Really funny. It's from Chuck Jones, the guy who did a bunch of Looney Tunes stuff. Never actually read the book, although I've seen the special so many times that I probably don't need to, but you learn in this short that Christmas doesn't come wrapped up. It doesn't come from a store, and that maybe Christmas perhaps means a little bit more. Moving on. No, number 1 is, this was not hard at all to pick as my favorite Christmas special. The Star Wars Holiday Special. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It's horrible. It's the worst Christmas special or holiday special ever invented. The only thing that special ever did right was give the world Boba Fett. But what's really number 1? Number 1 is another tie. I could not decide which one I love as the definitive Christmas special. One is a short special, one is a movie. The special is Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas from season 2 of Community. I mean, doing like the Rack and Bass stop motion animated Christmas specials is genius on the show's part. It's got all that Community humor. You got Abed, you got Jeff, Britta, Annie, Troy, Britta. Wait, I said Britta. Shirley, and Pierce, and all his racism. Very heartfelt at the end. It kind of made me cry at the end of the special, I'll admit that. And I probably, after this video, I'll hand over my man card. So, I mean, that's Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas. The other thing that's tied is a movie that I've talked about recently, The Nightmare Before Christmas. It was number 9 in my favorite animated movies list. It is number 1 my favorite Christmas special list. I really do get a strong Christmas vibe from this movie. Danny Elfman's score and music really enhances it. Really wish it was longer. I mean, it's only like an hour and 10 minutes, but because I wish it was longer, that's probably a good thing. Really puts me in a Christmas mood. I'm probably gonna go watch it and a bunch of these other specials right now. I'll have some more videos up before the new year, but until then, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays from AlexG8462.